Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Very good day. In this video, I'm going to show you one example of a simple program that use methods. So I'll start with the flowchart. So here we have 4 methods. As we know, main is also one of the methods. And after that, we have calculate area method. And then we have calculate perimeter and also print info. So we have 4 methods overall. So we start with the main. So our main here starts with asking input for the width and height. And then it goes to the calculate area. So this is method call for calculate area. So when we see a method call, meaning we are calling this method and we are going to execute the execution inside this method. So in this calculate area method, we have a formula here, area equals to width times height, and it has a return. So in this method, we are just going to calculate the area and we are going to return to the caller. So our caller is here. So the execution will come uh, to the flow after the method call. So this is the method call and it will be written after the method call. Okay, the next one, after we have calculated area, then we have another method called calculate perimeter. So this will go to the next method, calculate perimeter. So in this calculate perimeter, we have the formula, perimeter equals to 2 times width plus with the height, and similarly we have the return. So this one will return to the caller. And then we have a print info method. So this print info method is another method that we have in this code. So inside print info, we are just going to print the area and also the perimeter, and then we return the execution to the caller. So this is what we are going to do in the code. So we are going to have a main, and then we are going to have another 3 extra methods. So I have the code here. So we declare a class rectangle method. So in this class, we are having a global variable. We have 4 global variables here, area, perimeter, width, and height. So as I explained earlier, global variable can be accessed by all of the methods that we have in the class. So we will see the usage later on. So the first method that we have here is method calculate area. So in method calculate area, we have the formula for calculating the rectangle area. So we have the header here and this is the body. So the whole thing we call as method definition. Okay, that is the first method. The second method is calculate perimeter. So we have the header here and also the method body here with the formula of perimeter calculation. After that, we have print info method. So this print info method is just to print out the area and perimeter. All of these are void methods. And finally, we must have our main method. So if you don't have this main method, your code is not going to run. Okay, so in this main method, we ask input from user. If we see the flowchart, we ask input from user for the integer, for the width and height. So here is where you transform it into the code. So you have here asking input from user, you give instruction and you read the input for width and height. After that, we have a method call for the 3 methods. So if you compare to the flowchart, we have the 3 method calls here. Okay, so when you have this kind of code, it is compulsory for you to have the main method. So main method is the heart of your code. If you don't have it, you are not going to be able to run your code. So you can place these methods, the other methods you can place before the main method or after the main method. After you close this main, you can also place other methods here, but before you close the class. Okay. So each of them are separated with the curly braces. If you notice here, open for the method, close for the method, calculate area method. This one is open for calculate perimeter and close for it. This one is open and close for the print info method. So in one class, you can have more than one method. So as we see in this example, we have 3 extra methods beside our main method. But when you want to trace what's the output of this class, you have to start from the main method. So your tracing should start from here. The step starts from line 1 of your main method. So as usual, we have our scanner scan. This is to create the scanner object. Then we ask input from user. After that, we ask input again for the height. And if you see here, the next one is to method call to call calculate area method. So when we have this method call, meaning we are going to search for calculate area method. So if you see the flowchart also, we are calling method calculate area and we are going to execute everything inside this method and we are going to return to main. So now we go to calculate area method and we do the calculation here. So user might have given you some input. So based on that input, you are going to calculate the area of the rectangle. Okay, so that's finished for this method call. So after you finish calculating, you already have the values for area, the value for area. You also have the values for width and height. So based on that, you calculate the area. And then your execution will come to the main again. So the code after the method call just now. So now we have method call for calculate parameter. So when you have this method call, meaning you are going to search for calculate parameter method. So you are going to execute this formula by using the width and height that user give just now. Okay, after you have done with the calculation, you come back to the main method. Now we call method print info. So print info, we are just going to print out SOP what's the area and what's the perimeter. Okay, let me run the code. So now my program will ask me what's the width of my rectangle. So I give 60 and the height is 5. So I will get the output as 300 and for area and perimeter I will get 130. So how do we do this calculation? So when user give you 60 and 5, the value are kept in variable width and height. So width and height is read from the main, but we are printing the area and perimeter value inside method print info. So how is that possible? Because uh, when you calculate the area, when you call the method calculate area, you are going to use the width and height that user give just now. So you already have 60 and 5 as your width and height. So area will be calculated based on that value and will be kept in this variable. So when you call method print info, so the value that you have in the area and perimeter will be printed. And since this variable is already declared as global, that's why you can access from print info method, even though the calculation is done in different method here. So area is calculated in calculate area method, and perimeter is calculated in calculate perimeter method. But you are printing the value of area and perimeter in print info method. So this is possible because we have declared it the variables as global. If we didn't declare as global, then you are not going to be able to you are not going to be able to print out the area and perimeter in this print info. Okay, so this is only example for a void method. We are going to learn more after this. I'm going to give you other examples for value returning method and also methods that can uh, send values. When you call the method, you send some value. So in this example, we are just using void method and without parameter. So we call the values here as parameter. And now I don't give you yet the methods with parameter. In the upcoming examples, we are going to learn about that. But for now, we just know that if we want to print out the values, so you have to make the value as global. so that the other methods can access the value. Let's say I want to add another variable here, integer number. Okay, so if you notice, this is a declaration for local data or local variable. So local data or local variable can be only accessed in this method. When you declare in print info method, so only print info method have access to this variable. But if suddenly I just want to print out here system dot out dot print line value of variable number, you are going to get error. Okay, cannot find symbol variable number because this variable is declared inside this method, but suddenly you want to print out in this in different method. Okay, however, if you declare this variable number as global, number equals to 100 for example, then it's going to print for you what's the number. Okay, if you see here, value for of variable number is 100. So it is based on what you declare here as a global variable. Okay, hopefully you have understood and you got some idea about methods and also how to use method and also global and local variables. So we will move on to other more interesting topics in this method. So this is very basic thing that you need to understand how it works, how is the execution. Okay, so this is very basic. I hope that you can understand. Okay, thank you.